Look, I know what you're thinking. Everyone's heard a creepy motel story before, right? Some rundown place on the side of a forgotten highway, bad vibes, weird manager. But what happened to Marcus Holloway on Route 47 that November night? This isn't just another ghost story. This is something else entirely. And by the end of this, you'll understand why Marcus doesn't drive at night anymore, why he sold his car entirely, why he takes buses now, even though his commute went from 40 minutes to 2.5 hours. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to that night. It's 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. Marcus Holloway is driving back from a work conference in Portland, and he's made a critical mistake. Marcus thought he could power through the 7-hour drive straight home to Seattle. No stops, no breaks, just him, a thermos of coffee, and the open road. But by hour 5, his eyes are burning, his head's pounding. He's swerving slightly, catching himself, blinking hard. He knows he shouldn't be driving. He knows it. That's when he sees it. Through the rain-streaked windshield, barely visible through the downpour that started an hour ago, a neon sign flickering in and out. Half the letters are gone, but he can make out the word, vacancy. The Pinewood Motor Lodge. Marcus almost drives past it, almost, but exhaustion makes the decision for him, and he pulls into the gravel parking lot, his tires crunching over wet stones. Here's what he sees: a U-shaped, single-story motel that looks like it hasn't been renovated since 1974. Peeling turquoise paint, rusted railings, about a dozen rooms, all with their lights off, curtains drawn, and in the center a small office with a single light glowing inside. The rain is hammering down now. Marcus kills the engine, and in that second of silence he realizes something. His car is the only one in the lot. Marcus sees the red flags, but he's been awake for 19 hours and his body is screaming for a bed. So he grabs his duffel bag, pulls his jacket over his head, and runs for the office. The door chime jingles as he steps inside, and immediately he's hit with that smell. Old carpet, mildew, and something else. Something like burnt wood. Faint, but there. Behind the desk sits a man, maybe mid-50s. Gaunt face, sunken eyes, wearing a maroon vest over a white shirt. Old-fashioned, like a uniform from another decade. He's just sitting there in the dim light. When Marcus enters, the man's head slowly lifts. "Evening," he says, voice dry and raspy. "Need a room?" "Yeah," Marcus answers. "Just for the night. You got anything available?" Without checking a computer or a ledger, the man reaches under the desk and pulls out a metal key with a green plastic tag. "Room 7. "Only one available," he says. $60. Cash only." Marcus frowns. "Only one?" The parking lot looks empty. The man's expression doesn't change. "Renovations. Most rooms are closed off. You're lucky we have this one." Something about the way he says the word lucky makes Marcus uneasy, but he's too tired to question it. He hands over $60. "Checkout's at 10, the man says. "Try to keep noise to a minimum. You're the only guest tonight, so it should be quiet." Marcus takes the key and heads out into the rain. Room 7 looks exactly like he expected. A floral bedspread older than he is, a stained carpet, a CRT television, a bathroom with yellowed tiles, and a dripping faucet. But there's a bed. That's all Marcus cares about. He locks the door, checks it twice, then wedges a chair under the handle. A habit from childhood. He kicks off his shoes, sets his phone on the nightstand, no signal, of course, and collapses onto the bed. Within minutes, he's asleep. Here's the thing about deep exhaustion. When you finally crash, nothing wakes you up. Except Marcus does wake up. His eyes snap open in the darkness, heart already racing. That primal sense that something is wrong fires before his mind does. He checks his phone. 2 a.m. and then he hears it. Footsteps, heavy ones, directly above him. Marcus freezes, barely breathing. He listens. Someone is walking back and forth across the room above him. Slow, deliberate steps, pacing. But that makes no sense. The motel is a single story. He saw it. There is no room above his. Marcus sits up slowly. The footsteps continue, steady and unnerving. Then they stop. Silence. Maybe he imagined it. Maybe it was the pipes or the wind or a single heavier sound, like someone dropping to their knees directly over his bed. Then nothing. Marcus doesn't sleep the rest of the night. He sits upright, staring at the ceiling, waiting. At sunrise, Marcus is out of room 7 in seconds. He's not showering, not eating, not talking to the receptionist. He just wants out. But as he's walking toward the office, something catches his eye. On the far side of the building, hidden behind overgrown bushes, is a metal door painted the same faded turquoise as the motel. Above it, almost unreadable, "Authorized personnel only." Marcus stops. He should leave. He knows he should leave. But that door sits directly behind room 7. Directly below those footsteps. He approaches. He tries the handle. It opens. A long groan of rusted metal echoes as the door swings inward. A narrow staircase leads up into darkness. This motel is supposed to be one story, except it's not. Marcus pulls out his phone, turns on the flashlight, and steps inside. The wooden stairs creak under every step. The air is thick, heavy with dust and the smell of burnt wood. At the top is a short hallway with 3 doors, all closed. He tries the first, locked. Second, locked. The third door opens. Inside is a cramped storage room, boxes stacked everywhere, covered in decades of dust. Broken chairs, a collapsed desk, old mattresses, forgotten things. But on the far wall, something shines. Framed photographs. Marcus walks closer, the phone light illuminating them. Black and white pictures, a crowded parking lot, families, staff lined up in uniform, and then he sees it. A photograph labeled Pinewood Lodge Staff, 1997. There, on the far left, is the receptionist. Same face, same maroon vest, unchanged. Marcus's hand shakes as he reads the plaque below. In memory of staff lost in the fire of February 14th, 1999. Among the names, Thomas Everett, night manager. The receptionist he met last night has been dead for 25 years. Marcus stumbles back in shock. Then he hears it. Footsteps in the hallway getting closer. Marcus turns toward the open door. At the end of the hallway, emerging from the shadows, is a figure, tall, burned, charred skin hanging from its frame. The maroon vest melted into its blackened flesh. The thing that used to be Thomas Everett opens its mouth, and smoke pours out. "Checkout is at 10, it rasps. Marcus runs. He crashes through boxes, slams into the door frame, and practically throws himself down the stairs. He hits the bottom hard, bursts outside, and sprints across the wet gravel toward his car. He fumbles the keys, drops them, picks them up, gets inside. When he starts the engine, he makes the mistake of looking back at the motel. Every room light is on, every curtain is open, and in each window stands a burned figure watching him. In the office doorway stands Thomas Everett, expressionless, smoke curling from his mouth. Marcus floors it. He doesn't stop driving for an hour. 2 days later, Marcus looks up the Pinewood Motor Lodge. There's a news article from 1999. A fire destroyed the building. 5 people died, 4 guests and the night manager, Thomas Everett. The guests all stayed in room 7. Different days, different years. Marcus tries to find the motel again, drives along Route 47 3 times. It's gone. Maybe it burned down long ago, Or maybe it only appears to the people it chooses. So, the next time you're driving late at night, exhausted, and you see a flickering vacancy sign outside a motel frozen in time, maybe keep driving. Because some places don't want guests, they want something else entirely. Sleep with one eye open.